Everyone, welcome to today's video. By now, the Let's Play that I did a few days ago should already be up online. Whether a few platforms that I'm using are still processing may be up in the air, but once that's finalized, please check out the Let's Play of Sonic Adventure DX. And as you can see, from this article that I got emailed a few days ago, is basically about the CDC offering tips to survive a zombie apocalypse. Oh, and by the way, if I didn't do my regular intro, the name is Zachary Gedzinski, and I will be your host. So apparently the CDC offers tips to survive 2021 zombie apocalypse predicted by Nostradamus. Okay, well, let's get into this article. Oklahoma City, with a year like 2020 in the way 2021 started, it wouldn't surprise many if the craziness continues. Yeah, the craziness has been getting crazier by the day, with an illegitimate president running the country and cancel culture getting rampant that the people behind cancel culture may as well be considered demonic. But will it continue with a zombie apocalypse? When I come across the phrase zombie apocalypse, I'm thinking those horror movies that you normally see where zombies are rising from the graves, and you may encounter those in role-playing games and the like. That's the thing. Is there any truth to this so-called zombie apocalypse? According to Nostradamus, 2021 will be jam-packed with events that could shape the future of humanity. Some of his predictions include a famine of biblical proportions, solar storms, a comet either hitting the Earth or coming very close, and of course a zombie apocalypse. That's the thing. I'm pretty sure Hollywood, if they were up to their normal tactics, would be trying to make movies based off of this, if they have any originality left whatsoever. But they're part of a hive mind that likes bashing people that don't think like them, which is far left Marxist Nazi. But I digress. Nostradamus, a 16th century French astrologer, is best known for his book Les Prophéties, which is a collection of the many prophecies he made. He's given credit for predicting the rise of Adolf Hitler in the Second World War. That's the thing, sure, he might have predicted the rise of Hitler and World War II, but is that still going to be credible today? Because thinking about this from a logical point of view, if there is a so-called zombie apocalypse, it could just be a bad case of rabies that gets out of hand, or perhaps it's not the typical undead zombie, because right now I'm studying IT and hope to get an IT job. So another way to translate zombie apocalypse could be a bunch of Trojans getting sent out to various computers, and computers being infected by malware, and ergo forming a zombot controller, which those computers infected with the malware would be quote-unquote zombies, which does sound logical if we're translating what Nostradamus predicted into a modern sense to where it could be a zombie apocalypse, but not of the undead kind, more or less computers getting controlled by a malicious hacker organization and or country, which could be a likely possibility given how our current president just wants to be buddy with China. So if China sends malware and infects all our computers and turns them into zombie machines, then yeah, we could be screwed. But let's continue with what he's saying, and let's talk about if actual undead zombies are a thing. He predicted that in 2021, a scientist would create a biological weapon and produce a virus that can turn humankind into zombies. That's a thing. Wasn't COVID-19 a biological weapon? But I don't see any form of zombification there. So unless COVID-19 mixes with rabies, then we may actually have a problem. But yet again, I don't see how this could come about unless it's from China, which is likely. But yet again, if any of you people that are watching, if you're watching, I encourage you to subscribe, like the videos, share them, and comment in the comment section on either YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, or Rumble. And if you're on Rumble, give it a good rumble. And this is a quote from Nostradamus. Few young people half dead to give a start. Dead through spite, he will cause the others to shine, and in an exalted place some great evils to occur. Sad concepts will come to harm each one. Temporal dignified, the mass to secede. Fathers and mothers dead of infinite sorrows. Woman in mourning, the pestilent she monster, the great one to be no more. All the world to end. That's the thing. I don't see this indicating a zombie apocalypse. And I think from a digital point of view is that I really do think it's talking about the hive mind on social media and cancel culture on Twitter and Facebook, how the masses are literally NPCs or quote-unquote zombies, how they just download this information and just go along thoughtlessly attacking others because they've been indoctrinated into this cult with a zombie mentality. And yet again, apparently some people will think that an actual zombie outbreak will be a thing, so let's just read more into this. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has created a campaign to help ease some fears and share tips on how you can be zombie ready just in case. That's the thing. Zombies, yet again, I have my doubts. I really, really have my doubts, but if it makes a good video and I can use it for content, why not? Wonder why zombie apocalypse and zombie preparedness continue to live or walk dead on a CDC website? The CDC writes, as it turns out, what first began as a tongue-in-cheek campaign to engage new audiences with preparedness messages has proven to be a very effective platform. we continue to reach and engage a wide variety of audiences on all hazards, preparedness via zombie preparedness. Yet again, I expect something like this to be realistic if it was a zombie apocalypse movie, or perhaps a video game, or a TV series, for crying out loud. But yet again, I don't find this to be believable, especially since Nostradamus was an astrologer, which let me go look up what astrology is first and foremost, so I can better inform you guys. Astrology. Let's see. Astrology is a pseudoscience that claims to divine information about human affairs and terrestrial events by studying the movements and relative positions of celestial objects. Astrology has been dated to at least the 2nd millennium BCE and has its roots in calendrical systems used to predict seasonal shifts and to interpret celestial cycles as signs of divine communications. So that's the definition of astrology for you, which is not the study of stars as some may claim, but astronomy is the study of stars, though. So astronomy, if we look that up before we get back. Okay, astronomy. Astronomy is a natural science that studies celestial objects and phenomena. It uses mathematics, physics, and chemistry in order to explain their origin and evolution. Objects of interest include planets, moons, stars, nebulae, galaxies, and comets. Relevant phenomena include supernova explosions, gamma ray bursts, quasars, blazars, pulsars, and cosmic microwave background radiation, and much more. And now back to the main article before I went into looking up the definitions for both astronomy and astrology to give you, the common viewer, the difference between the two. Okay, so this is where we are. In their blog post, they say, "You may laugh now, but when it happens, you'll be happy you read this. And hey, maybe you'll even learn a thing or two about how to prepare for a real emergency." That's the thing. I doubt the whole zombie apocalypse thing, other than the fact that it could be more or less related to actual computers instead, because astrology isn't really a science. Like the definition that I looked up, it's a pseudoscience, not an actual science. To survive, the CDC says you need to prepare an emergency kit. Here are a few things to include. Water, 1 gallon per person per day. Food, stock up on non-perishable items that you can eat regularly. Medications, this includes prescription and non-prescription meds, tools and supplies, utility knife, duct tape, battery-powered radio, etc. Sanitation and hygiene, household bleach, soap, towels, etc. Clothing and bedding, a change of clothes for each family member, and blankets. Important documents, copies of your driver's license, passport, and birth certificate, to name a few. First aid supplies, although you're a goner if a zombie bites you, you can use these supplies to treat basic cuts and lacerations that you might get during a tornado or hurricane. Yet again, I doubt this whole zombie apocalypse thing. If anything, it should be taken with a grain of salt. And if it happens, it's gonna be some weird mixture of COVID and rabies, or it's just gonna be a mass worldwide hacking done by China to turn all our computers into zombies, aka your computer and every computer that's up may get infected with malware that could get into your personal information and all that type of stuff and cause all sorts of disasters, from nuclear like fallouts and stuff like that. So yeah, I would be more concerned about a zombie apocalypse from a technological point of view, where basically you have a superpower hacking all the world's computers. Once your kit is complete, it's time to come up with an emergency plan. This includes where you would go and who you would call if zombies started appearing outside your doorstep, the CDC says. You can also implement this plan if there's a flood, earthquake, or another emergency. Yet again, I have to say that these so-called zombies might not actually be undead. It's more or less probably going to be computers infected with malware, and you probably won't know until it's too late. So let's go over this. Identify the types of emergencies that are possible in your area. Besides a zombie apocalypse, this may include floods, tornadoes, or earthquakes. If you are unsure, contact your local Red Cross chapter for more information. Pick a meeting place for your family to regroup in case zombies invade your home or your town evacuates because of a hurricane. Pick one place right outside your home for sudden emergencies and one place outside of your neighborhood in case you are unable to return home right away. Identify your emergency contacts. Make a list of local contacts like the police, fire department, and your local zombie response team. Also identify an out-of-state contact that you can call during an emergency to let the rest of your family know you are okay. Plan your evacuation route. When zombies are hungry, they won't stop until they get food, i.e. brains, which means you need to get out of town fast. Plan where you would go and multiple routes you would take ahead of time so that the flesh eaters don't have a chance. This is also helpful when natural disasters strike and you have to take shelter fast. Yet again, I doubt what this article is saying about the about there being a mass outbreak of the undead. Like, it's just not logical. And the most logical thing that would be a zombie apocalypse is a mass outbreak of Trojans infecting computers and turning those computers into zombie networks and being controlled by some sort of mastermind in China or some other superpower. In other words, a massive hack job. But I digress. This type of material would basically be great for a zombie movie plot or TV series, video game, or comic. And plus, if you're an indie comic creator or whatnot, use this article to inspire your work for your next project. Go ahead. Just make fun of the irony here. I'm pretty sure your fan bases will buy it. And yes, apparently a horde of zombies and people trying to run away from said zombies. If zombies do start taking to the street, the CDC says they would conduct an investigation just like any other disease outbreak. An investigation of this scenario would seek to accomplish several goals: determine the cause of the illness, the source of the infection, virus, toxin, learn how it is transmitted and how readily it is spread, how to break the cycle of transmission and thus prevent further cases, and how patients can be treated. The CDC shared in their post, not only would scientists be working to identify the cause and cure of the zombie outbreak, but CDC and other federal agencies would send medical teams and first responders to help those in affected areas. Yet again, this whole zombie apocalypse thing, unlikely. Very, very unlikely. And to believe such a thing would be possible, I want to take it logically like that at all, folks. Remember, take everything that you hear and read online with a huge grain of salt and don't go believing it nilly-willy. Like, if you're gonna more or less be tempted to believe something, do some actual research first. Other than that, folks, thank you for watching this video. Yet again, like, subscribe, comment, and like my content on YouTube under Zen Variety, on BitChute also Zen Variety, on Odyssey as Zen Variety Mix, and Rumble as Sotar Mix. Thank you very much, and please tune in for the next video. Thank you, and God bless, and goodbye.